All right, here we go. We're live. It is, what is it? What is it? It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Hope yesterday was awesome. Even better than awesome. I hope tomorrow's even better than yesterday. We're going to talk about how to win today. And I got some really, I think, important things I want to talk about today. Because I've been thinking about this a lot lately because everything's so tight right now, at least in my world. I'm in the investment world, real estate investment world, and it is tighter than a tie ball game for real estate investments right now. And we talked about that. You're going to either capitulate or you're going to fight back. And I'm going to fight back. But a lesson I learned again recently that I don't know, I must learn it 2 or 3 times a week, if not more. And that's this: small little things done consistently over time create big results. All right. And
hey, John, grab your mic. Grab your mic.
There we go. Yep. Let's try it again. Small things done consistently over time yield massive results. Massive, right? Compounding effect, all the stuff that goes with it. But even take the compounding effect and move it to the side and say you don't get the compounding effect. Say you only get the effect of the work you do. It's still little things over time is massive. And I was thinking about it. 15 minutes a day added to your lead gen. Tiny. It's like holding a dime between your forefinger and your thumb. Tiny amount. That's the difference between great and good right there. Okay. 15 minutes. It's nothing. 22 days extra of lead gen. Extra
of lead gen, man. Come on.
That just shows how much more it is. But extra lead gen. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and fix that. Can I fix it? I don't know how to fix it. I'm going to leave it. If you can find the error, point it out in the comments. But think about it. 15 minutes, that's nothing of lead gen every single day. There's 22 days a month in a year. So if you do 15 minutes a day, assuming a 3-hour lead gen day, which is probably a lot for most people, that equates to 22 days extra lead gen over a course of the year. That turns this much into that much in your life.
Yeah.
It's a massive, massive thing, let alone the compounding effect that you're going to get from the conversations you're going to have, the feedback you're going to get, and the learning you're going to do, all the things that go with it, right? Massive amount of upside for that. Here's another one. 15 minutes. If you spend 15 minutes extra a day, 22 days a week, 22 days a month would create 66 hours over the course of the year of studying market trends. I mean, think about the knowledge you would obtain with 66 extra hours of study.
Yeah.
And what I would study is the neighborhoods I want to dominate. If you're spending your normal time plus an extra 66, we're talking about this and this. Massive, massive differences.
Compared to the agents that do zero.
It's intense. It's intense. 15 minutes is about 1.7 extra contacts if you're doing 20 a day. All right. 15 minutes, about 1.7. And or 1.5 a day or whatever. I don't know what the math is. It's 33 extra contacts a month. All right. That's a day and a half. Right. You do that over the course of a year, you get a bunch of stuff. Right. We're talking this and this, this and this. How do I do this? Where is it? This and this. But my point is, it's these small things done over time is just massive, massive. Okay. So let's go backwards. These numbers are based on 3 hours and 20 contacts a day. Let's say you're doing an hour and a half and 10, whatever. It's still going to be a lot more than you're doing. Okay. And what I want to push on folks is, so many times we want this big result, which means we want this big move all at once. Don't do it. Do a little move over time. Lose a pound a month instead of 20 pounds in an hour or whatever. You'll get good at it and you'll build up, and it's amazing. It works for saving money. Save $1 a day. Oh, that's nothing. Yeah, but in a while it'll be something.
Mm-hmm.
It's everything. A little bit of something will equate to a massive, if done over time, will equate to a massive change. So do it. Do it. Okay. Mark, tell me something about that. I mean, this is a simple concept that is so hard.
Yeah, Jim Rohn says an apple a day keeps the doctor away. It's not 8 apples on Sunday. And we're so used to binge watching. And I've heard it said that if you read 10 pages a day in any topic, in 5 years, you'll be in the top 5% of the people that know something on that subject. And it's easy. People want the easy button. That is.
Hold on, I'm going to pause you for a second. What do you
Yeah.
do if you read 5 pages a day?
10 pages a day in any subject. In 5 years, you'll be in the top 5 to 10% of people who have knowledge on that subject.
Okay. So, all right, let's think about this. What if that subject was a neighborhood you wanted to dominate? And what if every day you wrote one blog post about something in that neighborhood that you just learned? Who would you be in 5 years?
I mean,
massive.
Even if you just did a 2-minute short video and dropped it on your YouTube channel, the massive and 300. I mean, somebody go down that wormhole, you would dominate that area. Pick the right area, but it's the simple disciplines. Jeff Olson wrote the book, The Slight Edge, and it's based on what Jim Rohn says. Jim Rohn was his mentor. And the converse is this: simple disciplines repeated over time compound into massive results. Simple errors in judgment repeated over time compound into disaster. And there's the dog in the background. That is the key, is think about those little things. And are you doing a career? You always say this, a career, not a year. Are you willing to put in 3 to 5 years of that to have massive returns?
And it doesn't happen on year 5, day 1. It builds over the time. Destiny, I'm going to ask you something. I'm going to put you on the spot here. You have 15 minutes every day for the next rest of your life to talk about a neighborhood. Let's go through the next 5 days for Destiny. What would you talk about the first day? What could you talk about? A video, a blog post, a Facebook post, a picture. What would be one thing that you would think interesting about a neighborhood?
Are you asking me? I'm sorry,
Yes.
my computer glitched for a second.
Oh, I just thought you were thinking really hard.
No. One thing that I would talk about is home value in a neighborhood.
Home values. Boom. And what?
In my neighborhood, or in a neighborhood, their home value.
Where they're going, up, down, or flat?
Yep.
Julie, what would you do?
Pros and cons of a neighborhood. I mean,
Pros
obviously
and
people who live
cons.
in a neighborhood know the pros and cons, but people who are thinking about living there don't necessarily know the pros and cons. Like if there's, a dog park, walking paths, just different things that attract people to a neighborhood.
Could you go take a picture of the dog park, take a picture of the walking path, take a picture of the whatever?
Yep. And
These
that
are
could
three
be,
things that people, pros and cons. Here's a con, right?
Yeah.
Whatever that might be.
yeah, mostly you're going to do pros, but the thing is if you do it over time and you're every day dedicating, okay, today I'm going to go take pictures, and you just take pictures for a couple of hours, now you have content for a couple of weeks.
You just put in 15 minutes. Destiny, give me another one. What would you do?
Probably talk maybe about the HOA, if there's an HOA in the neighborhood,
Boom.
in the amenity.
Massive HOA. Killers or saviors, depending on your outlook.
Right.
Imagine a quick video of how long does it take us to get to Publix?
Mm-hmm.
Location.
Carry around your cell phone, and anytime you see a neighbor, hop out and just say, "Hey, I'm keeping a log of the pros and cons of the neighborhood. Can I shoot this?" And you compile that over time. of neighbor on the street? What do you
Julie,
love?
give me one. We got 4.
All the businesses and retail surrounding and why it's attractive, including hospitals, doctors, dentists, all the
Anything
service-
somebody moving to there would want to know about.
Yep.
Schools.
Now, if you
Schools,
did that every day, there's 22 days in a month. Can you imagine the content you'd have after 22 days? 1 month.
Yeah. Things to do, transportation, restaurants. People love restaurant reviews. Go to every single restaurant, bakery, every kind of service that people could need, and just interview the owner or somebody at the restaurant, or just take pictures of the front of the restaurant and a quick one inside.
Amazing.
Couldn't you create your own neighbor yard of the month presented by?
Yard of the month. And sprinkle in real estate stuff. Houses for sale. All this. And God, that's 1 month. Can you imagine after 12 months of doing that? And let's say you're going to do it in an afternoon. All right. So you're going to spend, go to 3 neighborhoods in one afternoon. Can you go to 3 neighborhoods in one afternoon? Probably.
Yeah.
Right. So that's 3 neighborhoods. So every afternoon I got to think you would dominate, absolutely dominate after 3 months.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And John,
Not only would you would know what's going on. Are the prices up, down, flat? The inventory up, down, flat? All that crunchy stat stuff. You would know the pros and cons. You would know the businesses nearby. You would be the expert on that neighborhood.
You would know the differences of each little community within the community. So, the condos versus the single family detached versus the townhomes, the ones that are on the golf course versus that are off, the ones that are on the water, all the details of why this same
Amazing.
square footage here versus here is a lot higher demand.
Let me ask you guys something. Y'all have been around a little bit. You've seen a few things. Is there anyone in your markets doing anything even close to any of that?
I'd say no.
Not at all.
Is there going to be today? This is how you're going to win the day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hey, John, think about if you picture 3 as your middle, your move up, and your move down. So you've got your 3 strata and you're dominating. Start here, move up.
Amazing.
And you've got that dominated, and they're connected and interconnected. That ecosystem would be massive over
Massive.
time.
That would be huge, but I would caution, pick one and dominate that, and then expand once you're dominating in the one.
That's fair. Get good at one and then expand out to linked that move up.
Because
move
what
down.
happens, especially if you're new and if you don't have a gigantic budget, is you get stretched too thin. And you can dominate a neighborhood with just the first thing you do, as I've said, is print signs with your name and picture on them and your phone number, and then have 20 of them and do open houses. That is your billboard in one neighborhood. And then you do all these other things combined, dominate that one neighborhood.
Dominate.
Don't stretch yourself so thin that you run out of money.
Mm-hmm.
Wisdom.
So do that.
I think
Yeah.
a cool idea could also be to start a neighborhood Facebook page. Some neighborhoods do that, but to be the admin for that page, you get to know everybody and you get to know their homes and what's going on in the neighborhood.
So I got to
So
tell a
cool.
story on that real quickly. There's in my old home in Mississippi, we had a neighborhood Facebook group. It was started by a realtor. So when I went to sell my house and I was looking to sell it, just on my own, I had already moved down here. I went and posted my property on that Facebook group. Well, guess what? It didn't post. The realtor called me and said, "Hey, I've got somebody I want to come show it." And so she throttled, or she moderated all the real estate posts. And it ended up one of her coworkers brought a buyer. We got the deal done in 3 days. But she controlled that, but always pushed that out. Brilliant. She owned the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. Own the neighborhood. And you can do it.
Mhm.
You're not going to do it today. You're going to start today. But every day, you're going to add to your pile, your domination of a specific area. Do it. Get there first, get there often. Let me tell you another little story here. I learned some more yesterday. AI is not going to change the world as we know it. It might augment it to some degree. It'll not change the way we do it. And I'll tell you why I say that. I had a grand plan. I got a lot of grand plans. I had a grand plan. I'm going to bring my son in, and he's just going to say, AI, tell me about this condo building and write me a blog post so I can put it on my website. Solid. Puts the first one up there. Tell me about Azure condo. And it comes back, Azure condo is blah, blah, blah. Oh, nestled in the heart of this coastal community in Destin, Florida, this condo and blah, blah, blah. Problem one is it's not in Destin, Florida. It's in Fort Walton Beach. The rest of it, let's call it okay. Next one. ChatGPT, write me a description for my blog post about another condo. This wonderful condo nestled in the coastal community alongside the beach, they were all the same. And they were all wrong. and Katie, who works with me, says garbage in, garbage out. Welcome. And that's AI. AI is taking garbage, spinning it to create new garbage.
It's only as good as the prompts that you give it and the data you give it. And
okay,
it's
so think
learning.
of every go and today. I challenge all y'all. Go into your MLS and start reading the descriptions of homes for sale. Pretty soon, they're all going to sound the exact same, right? This wonderful house nestled in the coastal dune lake of whatever boasts this and blah, blah, blah. Next one. It's like, because that's all we do. We just go copy the last one and move a couple words around.
Yeah.
And so that's all AI is doing. It's going to pull that stuff. And when it pulls that stuff, all it does is just spin the poop and come out with different poop. Now, it's good for some things, no doubt. I use it for a lot of things, to be honest. Not good for that. Not good for that. Now, maybe if you wrote it, because here's what I use it for. Spell check. No, that's not it. What I use it for is just, spell check for my posts and grammar checks. I ask it to proofread. And it's very good at that. And it was starting to change my content. And I said, no, please don't change the content. Just proofread it and fix the grammar and spelling. And now I got it down because I write in some as a summary to all my posts. It does not like that. It wants one sum. It does not like it. I'm like, hey, you little bitch, I want 2 sums on there. Okay, Mr. John, we'll have 2 sums. And then I'll get 1 sum. So I'm at a battle with AI right now. But nevertheless, it's good. All right, so anyway, let's review here real quick. Anybody else want to add to their what they're going to do to dominate?
We got Kyle here.
Kyle, what is Kyle saying? Here he is. Great video. Love the knowledge. Be first. Kyle Hawk. Kyle Hawk is a master salesperson. If you don't know who he is, he's a master salesperson. Thank you, Kyle. Be first. Be first. I love that. Right?
I say time block. Pick a time, put it on your calendar, and be really rigid with try not to put anything else on your calendar at the time that you decide to, whether it's your lead gen. But if you're going to dominate a neighborhood and say you're going to do something every single day to grow, like take pictures or drive around or look at construction, do it at the same time every day so that it becomes a habit.
Yep. Build it in your schedule.
Say, create time to take that time block your content creation to 1 day. You can go out and gather it and then drip it throughout. You don't need to do every single day of going out and searching. You need to be doing the other things, but that 2 to 3 hours on 1 day a week that you're gathering the content for the week, you're golden. But do it every single week.
Every day, all the time.
Previewing.
Yeah.
Yep. Or you can do it while you're previewing. You can be previewing and do it at the same time. I think that's fine. 2 for 1. Right? All right. Anybody else want to add anything real quick?
John, I'll add one other thing, and I learned this from John Maxwell. Go in there and create a Google Sheet or an Excel spreadsheet and create just a profile or a file, and you can create the different tabs for different everything from data to pros and cons or what have you, and just always have in one place a place where you're dropping in content for that topic. And then you've got your own database of stuff to draw from. So create the Excel or Google spreadsheet and have one place that you're constantly adding to. Create it as a hot link on your cell phone so that you can drop in there when the thought hits, because the weakest ink is better than the strongest memory. Log it. And
I got them on here. It's called my Spark file. So I just put my notes. I'm out walking and something hits me and I don't want to deal with it right now. I just drop it in my Spark file and I go back and read it and see if it sparks.
That's it.
Totally cool. One more thing, because there's always one more thing. We have Jake Dixon coming on here on Tuesday of next week. If you don't know, Mark, tell us who Jake Dixon is. I think you can do a better job than I can.
Yeah, Jake is the founder of The Locker Room. It's a nationwide coaching company, an extraordinary coach recognized by Success Magazine. He has coached. I've coached with him for a year. I coached with him for a year. Great friend, great professional, knowledgeable, and the author of
you just wrote a book.
The most recent book, Cannonball. And it's the 12 success principles children can teach us about life and business. So great book. Definitely want to be here Tuesday for that. I'll be here.
Yep. It's going to be good. So if you should get in on this. Where does he live? He's in Wisconsin or something?
Madison, Wisconsin.
Madison, Wisconsin. But he's a big time coach. He's going to talk about how to win the day from his perspective and talk a little bit about that. So that's going to be cool. You're going to want to hear that. All right. So to win the day today, I want you all to think about what neighborhoods you want to dominate. Pick one. I would get 3 or 4. I'd get 5. And then out of those 5, I'd choose the one I want to start with. And then I would start. And I would just, the rest of my life, that's going to be what it is. Okay? That's how you're going to win the day. All right, people, let's go do it. Let's put our thoughts into action. See you all tomorrow.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.